thank you all for joining me on this journey and encouraging me to reach the 300th episode of the 820 podcast. It seems like just yesterday we started this conversation and I'm sharing it with you, and the feedback and the encouragement has been humbling, overwhelming. But thank you so much for joining me on this 300th installment, the 300th urgency meeting about resilience. Thank you so much. Today's topic, Triple H, heaven, hell, and here. I know for many preachers and churches out there, this perspective won't cut the mustard for them. The idea and fantasy about heaven for them, most of them, that can only happen in the by and by and upon a glorious ceremonial death and funeral. Never been proven or demonstrated by anyone we know personally, but that's the going rate as it seems. We gotta wait to get there. So please humor me for a few more moments in this episode. I'm not talking about those golden gates and rows of honey and rose petals to walk on in our resplendent robes, or acknowledging the golden gatekeepers right now. I'm offering a different perspective about when we awaken each day. Awaken from what? From our necessary slumber, of course. The virtual and the actual slumber. Consider this perspective. When you experience a great daily departure from the work of the day, in that rest, could you accept that peacefulness, that pleasure, that calm and restorative little piece of heaven each day? When you do get that, where do you get to travel and float and have a lofty vantage point on your existence? If that scenario sounds reasonable and logical in this discussion, from where could you have retired to get that view? I'm saying you get that view from a little daily slice of heaven, right here and now. Let's continue this trip from that little daily heaven and still here in this world of existence. When you awake or wake in, what do you wake up into? When you awaken from that little trip into that slice of heaven, but you're still here in this existence, what do you wake up into? Let's call that waking up into part the hell we must walk through each day. The job, the bills, the schoolwork, the life on the street, the relationships, the loneliness, the groupthink, the politics, the mandates, the prejudices, I can't say that word, prejudices, the no pot to piss in. Even if you have to awaken in your palace and physical splendor, maybe money isn't the issue, but you still have to walk through or around those potential situations of hell in the day. So that's still, to me, qualifies as hell, as highlights in this example every day. I'm not proposing, as I have presented to you, that little slice of heaven when you depart into sleep or slumber. Doesn't mean we have to sleep 23 hours a day for more heaven and only awaken for 1 hour into hell. I'm not saying that. Maybe this scenario does support the less is more idea, though. Maybe even we can mix in the concept from the movie Inception, where that deep state of sleep and dreaming can accelerate and make dream time concentrated, where seemingly 5 minutes in the dream from the awake side actually was more than an hour on the dream side. I know I've asked you for a huge leap of faith and trust in this conversation. But what if both those aspects, heaven and hell, from right here and now, are not made up of fantasies or deferred destinations after some period of time? What if what I have described to you is possible and very, very real? When you have visited heaven, the dream space of heaven, and you awaken back into hell, the real life, the constant of your existence is in being here, being present, and now awoke with your work purpose and message to deliver. It is time to produce, to make those donuts, as I said back in the day. Taking that daily vacation experience of heaven into and through hell into your day. Remember that short trip to heaven was provided to you and I in a concentrated Inception movie format. Add some water, literally and figuratively and spiritually, to make it last, and refresh yourself in the day and the night of your daily hell excursion. I hope that doesn't sound way too crazy, but hey, a man can dream. Sleeping with the intent for heaven. Sleeping with the intent for heaven. Just think about that. If you retire and die in that moment, that's a pretty positive embarkation or send-off, don't you think? If you awaken at the new port of hell, you can bring your newly refreshed internal heaven with you, your provision for that day on your journey. Even if you enjoyed that concept, you might have come to a final question for this episode. So, which is real, Ming? The sleep part of heaven or the wake part of hell? Both. Use and embrace one to get to the other. But make your choice carefully. Both of those opportunities exist for you. You have to choose now. You might enjoy hell more, spend more time there, and visit heaven just on occasion. But those trips, those concentrated trips to heaven, that's those slices they can take with you when you awaken into hell. Take your heaven with you. It kind of puts those naps into a different light, doesn't it? All right. Thank you once again for number 300. Let's do another 300. Until then, stay present, stay current, stay productive. It is always 820.